Hello there, Sagittarius. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, bringing you your monthly reading for September 2021. As we get started here, if you're catching me here on the YouTube, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button below so that you're in the know of all of the amazing content as it is released, okay? Before we get started, as always, I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck. That's just my go-to deck. And always, as I get started, I set the intention to have the reading meet you at your highest and best. And when I tap into your energy, Sagittarius, for September, the word focus is one that comes in immediately, okay? What I need you to focus on is your intention, though. It's not just focusing on your focus, right? And staying focused on concentrating on your goals and your visions and what you want for outcomes. It's about your intention, okay? We really want you to be focused on moving through these scenarios, moving through these obstacles, moving through these things that you're moving through this month with an understanding of what are my intentions in this area and how can I improve, okay? Because I feel like sometimes you have a tendency to make a decision for yourself based on complete random choice, and it kind of leaves you hanging out there and not necessarily feeling as fulfilled as you deserve to be or deserve to feel, okay? And so that's really what I'm feeling as we get started, okay? Moving into the first week of September, the 1st through the 11th, the very first card we get for the 1st is the Ten of Pentacles. I feel this is very representative of what your energy is right now, okay? I feel, like this is like you work hard, you play hard. It's not all glitz and glamour, and I think that you understand that. I feel like you're putting in the work to feel fulfilled this month, okay? And that's where it's going to be. And I think it's going to leave you in a place where you're going to question some things, and things are going to have to change. And I think that overall you're going to gain a new perspective out of that, and that's a beautiful thing. Moving into midweek, the 4th, 5th, we get the King of Pentacles, okay? King of Pentacles. I feel that he comes in with a very grounded energy. I'm feeling like you're feeling very grounded. I feel in terms of how you're moving through your life, I feel like you're so grounded that you could feel stuck, okay? I feel like you're overly practical. In terms of this, I feel like this can be like a good thing. It could be like a double-edged sword. It could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I feel like when you're being overly practical, it can tend to cloud the bigger picture, right? We really want to make sure that we're still, even though we're being practical, we're still allowing space for joy and happiness, where you are still spending a little bit of money on some of those things. So it might not necessarily even be in money, right? It could be, are you being overly practical in terms of how you respond to things in relationship dynamics, because you just want to make sure that you don't upset the apple cart, so to speak. Because if that's what you're doing, then you're not really being true to yourself. And I think that that's where things tend to, when they fall down for you, like are come crumbling down, they really come crumbling down. And I'm going to get to that in a minute, but old habits die hard for you, right? This is something that you've always had a tendency to do, maybe, to always just keep things going smoothly. That's just what you've done. And I think, you kind of, there's a feeling with this, Spirit is saying the word, things are like shrouded, where they're kind of like clouded. This vision is kind of clouded for you a little bit, where there could be a little bit of secrecy. And so I feel that that's what's coming in with this. And again, the word arbitrary, coming in with some random choices, not really having any rhyme or reasons as to why you do things. You're just making these choices for yourself based on like personal whims, or like, oh, okay, this is what I feel like doing today, and I'm going to do these things. But it's not necessarily what's good and right and best for you, or for your highest and best, okay? So just be mindful of that. I feel, that there's some good news that will come in, I feel, too. It may not necessarily be good news for you, though, okay? So we have the Ten of Cups here with the Nine of Cups with the Five of Swords. See, this is where the conflict comes in. I think it's an internal conflict within you. So as we move toward the end of the week here, the end of the first week, we have the 7th and 8th there. We have this feeling of good news that could be coming in, but you're not necessarily feeling as though this is good news on your part. You're feeling like this is good news for somebody else and it happened at your expense. All right, and that's really what I'm feeling with that. And so again, I feel as though you know, you're upset by that, or it creates this internal conflict where you're happy for this person, but then you might feel jealous, or you might feel left out, or something to that effect. Okay, so I feel like there's a whole dynamic that's playing out for you. And again, this could be leading into this importance of you seeing the bigger picture of all of those things. Because if you had spoken your truth, you know, the old habits die hard, where if you were just being honest and being open and speaking your truth this whole time, you know, and seeing the bigger picture of that, that might not necessarily have played out that way. So I think it's just important to be mindful of those things as you're moving forward, because I don't think there's anything you can do about this situation now. I feel like even if you're hearing this before the month of September, and you feel like you're going into that energy, I feel like this is just destined to happen. I think it's going to happen no matter what. I think it's important for you moving forward, though, to take this as a lesson and not do that as you move forward into new situations, new dynamics, right? All right, so there's something to be mindful of, because we get here too, the Strength card. Okay, the Strength card is coming up, and with this, it's saying, listen, be careful not to inflict your will on somebody else, not to push your will or your desire on somebody else to make yourself happy, right? This person has free will, and although you're not happy about how things have happened or what the outcome is, it's really important that you're still standing in your own energy and in your own truth at the end of the day, okay? So understanding that you're just going to take the L, take the loss, and really understand that you are responsible for how things turned out at this point, right? This person is not responsible for that. You are. And so how can you move forward in a different way in future situations, future scenarios? Because you do hold the power to change outcomes, okay? And that's really what I feel with that Strength card, right? Tapping into that strength, tapping into that energy, knowing that you can do this. You just have to believe that you can and put your mind to it, right? So, moving into the 12th through the 18th, we have 3 cards that come up at the beginning of the week here. The World card with the Devil card. That looks a little terrible. And the Temperance card, balancing things out, healing at the end of the day. So with this, I'm really feeling as though there is, you know, a monkey that comes through. Spiritually speaking, I hear, you know, this monkey, and it's like making all these weird noises. Okay, so this monkey spiritually is meaning that this person comes in with a level of trickery. And even though they bring this level of trickery, like the monkey on Aladdin that steals things from other people, they're fun, right? They're like the life of the party. But again, that can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing, because monkeys can also be very aggressive, right? And so this is what I'm feeling with this. It's so funny. Spirit is showing me like the middle finger, right? Where someone's like putting their middle finger up, right? And so with the middle finger, it's representative of our throat chakra. So speaking our truth, right? Taking responsibility for speaking our truth, which is kind of what we were just talking about. And understanding that there's a little bit of soul searching and balance that will come from that, okay? So what am I saying here? You know, you have a potential to be the life of the party. You also have the potential to be, you know, a jerk, right? I mean, we're all like, you can be angry and you can be, you know, someone can light your fuse, right? Because we're all human, right? So within this and knowing that, I think it's really just accepting the duality of it, right? Spirit wants you to just even acknowledge the duality of this, understanding that, you know, we have to face our demons, so to speak, with that devil, right? And what do I mean by our demons? So what specifically am I feeling with this? You know, I'm thinking of like the cardinal sins, right? Where we can have too much pride, or we can have too much greed, or we can have too much obsessing about something, or it could be like a lustful situation, right? So these are some things that are really coming in. What I'm feeling with this is, you know, making a balance of all of these things. If there is too much of any of these things happening in your life, you know, making sure that you're balancing that out in some way, shape, or form. Understanding that too much of a good thing is not a good thing, or is not always a good thing, whatever that saying is. So the key is moderation, right? And however you interpret that in terms of your spirituality and how you handle those things, I'm going to entirely leave that up to you. But I do feel as though, again, with this Ace of Swords, there comes a new perspective here. And there comes peace and understanding, okay? Understanding ourselves and what triggers us and how we can heal. And I feel like with this Ace of Swords, too, that although, you know, the word detonate kind of comes through. And that's not just speaking about somebody's anger. That's like a breakthrough, right? Like, ta-da! Like a feeling of that for me. That's what I feel when I get that from Spirit, okay? So I feel like there's a breakthrough in understanding yourself on a deeper level and understanding your needs and your desires, or a breakthrough in understanding how you can move past some of these things in your ego that are holding you back, and understanding like a breakthrough in like systems overall, right? Understanding where you fit in the bigger picture. Okay, so this is what I'm feeling for this week, and I know that that's a lot. It's a lot to take on. But really doing some of that soul searching in terms of journaling or meditation. I think it's really important in doing those things and really paying attention to what's coming through, what thoughts are coming through, what visions are coming through, what you're writing, like what themes are coming through. That's what's going to help you to get to that deeper understanding, to, you know, say, is this something that's holding me back? Is this something that's hindering me? Is this something that's surfacing in dynamics of relationships at work or at home? And is this something that's you know, keeping me from being the best version of me that I know that I can be and that I deserve to be, so that the best version of me is out there, and I'm shining my light and I'm shining bright and living in a more happy, healthy way, right? Moving into the 19th through the 25th, we have the Tower card that comes out with the 8 of Pentacles. Looks a little yucky, right? Okay, so with these, really feeling like you're spent, you're done. Done, stick a fork in me, I'm done. I feel like you're feeling like, man, this is just not how I operate, right? I feel like you've been putting a lot of energy, time, energy, effort into a situation, and you're feeling like you're not getting back from it what you deserve, what you want, okay? And it's almost like you've been, I don't want to say pretending, but putting so much energy and effort into it, but from a surface level. Like, not being your true authentic self, but like being who this person wants you to be or needs you to be, or who this group of people, maybe at work or something, needs you to be. And so it's just exhausting because it's like you're putting on a show, and now you're just like, I can't keep up doing this. It's just exhausting. And so what you felt like might have been, hey, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to build this, now you're feeling like it's crashing down on you, it's collapsing, and you just want to maybe rebuild it and be your true authentic self, so it doesn't feel so exhausting, because you just don't need it to be exhausting anymore. You need it to be, have a little bit more ease and flow. And so Now you're feeling like, okay, we're a work in progress, it's a work in progress, and so how can I come at this so that it's worth my time and energy, and I'm putting in enough effort into it that I feel like I'm also getting that back in return, right? Where you're feeling like it's not so much energy and effort to just operate at that level with it, right? Or feeling, like it's a fruitful endeavor, right? And so with this, I'm feeling like, like you're going to be pushing yourself to your limits. I feel like you don't necessarily want to share your true authentic self with these people, or maybe you're fearful of rejection from these people. Maybe that's what's held you back from being your true self. But again, I feel like you're just justifying your actions. You're just justifying what you've been doing. Is like, this is why I did it, and that's why I wasn't wrong, But again, you can't keep operating at that level because it's just too much effort that you have to put out to just maintain, right? And so understand that, like, you are a work in progress. Everybody is a work in progress. And so being a little bit more open with other people and being a little bit more vulnerable with people, you're going to see a little bit more of a return from them as well, because they'll be a little bit more vulnerable and open with you as well. And so I do feel like you have high hopes for this situation. And I do feel, again, with this Four of Wands now, that there is a beautiful beginning, a beautiful start, a solid foundation there that you can start from. All four of those pillars, right? There is a solid foundation available to you should you choose it. Okay, because I feel, again, the word arbitrary is coming up. So again, this was a random choice maybe for the work situation or for the relationship or whatever the situation is for you. I feel like it was a random choice. It was a personal whim. It was an impulse to get into this situation. So you've had very low investment. And it's something that you need to get passionate about. Okay? Because, when you're low investment, you're not as passionate about something. You're very blasé. Spirit is saying you're very blasé. Like, you're very unimpressed with it. You're feeling like it's same old, same old. You've seen this a million times. And so you're just, surface level operating. And it's a choice that you have to make. Things can work. Six of Wands, your victory. Things can work out for you. But you're going to have to make the choice to make the effort, to be vulnerable, to be open, and not just right at that surface level, superficial stuff, okay? That's really what I'm feeling with that. Moving into the 26th through the 30th, we have the Judgment card for you, Sagittarius. So really, I'm hearing the Ring Around the Rosie song, and then everybody falls down. I feel as though if you're going down, you're not going down alone. I feel as though if you're going down or feeling down, you're bringing everyone down with you in terms of if you're unhappy, like, everybody's gonna know it. You're gonna, like, really just let everybody know. You're gonna be open. You're gonna tell everybody you're unhappy. You're gonna be, telling everybody what's wrong and why you're not feeling great. And I think that that's a good thing with that throat chakra being open and you're talking about it. It helps you to process your feelings. I think it's really important to be focusing on the past as a lesson and not just saying, that's a lesson, that's a wash, and let's start again, and then repeating the same dynamics, but really, truly looking at that as a lesson and saying, oh, okay. Now, I've seen this situation, again, because we talk about that, it's happened, it's same old, you've seen it a million times. Why have you seen it a million times, right? Why does Spirit keep showing you the same thing over and over again? And how can you show Spirit that you've learned from that? The next time, there will be a next time. It will show up again. And then this time, you have to say, show Spirit that you've learned from that lesson by responding differently. The only way to change that is to respond differently. It completely changes up the dynamic, but also shows Spirit that you've leveled up, you've learned that lesson. So not just saying, yes, I've learned my lesson, but showing Spirit that you've learned your lesson. And not only that, but you're going to feel hella proud of yourself when you start to respond differently, because you're going to be like, I got this. I got this, and I know this, and I can do this way better than I did last time. And you're not going to feel so stuck. You're not going to feel so, confused, or like you're in a fog, right? You're going to be like, I know this. I've seen it a million times. I can see through this fog. I know exactly where I'm going, right? And you can make the best choice for yourself. And what that will do, new situations will start to show up after that because you've leveled up. Okay? Beautiful position to be in. Position of power. Okay? Advice overall, 2 of Wands. So we have here, what I'm hearing with this is great. It's liberty, the word liberty. So you have the liberty to make your own choices in terms of your free will. You have the ability to make your own choices and do what it is that you feel necessary or what you feel called to do. Okay, so make sure that you're following your intuition. You don't have to follow your intuition though. You can follow whatever you feel that you want to do. If you want to follow that impulse, if you want to follow that whim, that arbitrary whim, but how far has that gotten you so far, right? But, again, we all have our free will. If you're following your intuition and you're out there, you're going to find that it's going to be the path of least resistance. You're going to find that it's the path of most joy. You're going to find that it's the path that makes you most happy. You're going to find these delightful surprises along the way, right? All of these beautiful things happening for you. So listen, don't criticize yourself for the decisions that you've made up until now. Don't criticize yourself for maybe not knowing what decision to make right now, right? Really, really, don't push yourself to commit right now. Allow yourself to give yourself the respect that you need, to take the time that you need, respect the process in going forward, to take the time that you need to make the decisions that you need, right? And claim your sovereignty going forward and your ability to make the best choice for yourself, because you can do this. And I think that part of that is acknowledging that. So as you focus on your intention, be mindful of your intention as you make that decision. Okay, beautiful read here for you, Sagittarius, for September. And if you have another Sagittarius in your life that's near and dear to your heart, please don't hesitate to share this read with them so they can also benefit from hearing the messages for this month. As always, if you're interested in your own personal reading, you can hit me in the description box below here on YouTube to book your own reading at the square site below. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.